born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.
Patrick, that should be a fumble on the receiver. Like, don't punish Patrick's stats for that. Like,
I do dig a mom though, a sports mom that like is ride or die with her kid.
That's fair.
Like I do,
but I mean,
because in all seriousness, that is true. And as a quarterback, I
I'm sure
those tipped interceptions.
Right. Because it's not his fault.
Right.
It's not his fault.
Yeah.
But to think the NFL is going to change the rule because Patrick Mahomes' mom tweeted about it, like, yeah.
That's
know?
That's how legislation might be coming from tweets.
And if this was like the only incident of her being that way,
right? Yeah,
I could let it go.
Over the top.
But she's like always, and his wife is the same way. Where like anything that goes wrong, it's never
his fault.
His fault. It's always the rest of the team sucks. Like,
did I tell you one of my good friends? She's like a sleep training coach for kids.
Oh yeah.
She sleep trained their kid, but I'll have to ask her, like, because I think she went into their house and they had her come in, so I wonder what that was.
Because I think Patrick, like you said, is a really nice guy.
Yeah, and I don't know if
he's
super
cool. When I met him, we were doing like an event in front of like 15,000 kids, and he was like more nervous than I was to be up in front of those kids talking.
Really,
that's funny.
That's
He
crazy.
was you could tell he was just super like so humble that he was shy to do something like that. Or he's like, he's the reigning NFL MVP. They can be easy in front of kids.
You don't understand though, like. Especially someone in their rookie, sophomore, early on in their career, like they haven't had the experience of getting up in front of a ton of people in that kind of regard. So I mean, we always think of them as athletes, like they should
be used to it.
They should know.
We're playing in front of 60,000 people.
They don't have any fucking experience doing that kind of stuff. Welcome, athletes, into the gym closet for another episode. We are on 160. So, that's a lot.
It's a lot of episodes.
A lot of episodes. So go back and listen. If you're joining us for the first time, you have 159 episodes to catch up on. So you're going to be busy for the next couple weeks. But if this is your first time joining us, we are a Krave Gym podcast. We're called the Gym Closet because we are literally in the gym closet. We talk about living like an athlete, why that's important. We talk about the importance of team, which is a hint to today's word of the week. But we talk about what it means to live like an athlete, both inside of the gym, training like an athlete, and outside of the gym, being successful in life and doing what it takes to get shit done. So that's kind of a little bit about what we talk about. And then we hope to be kind of entertaining as well. So we have
we're entertaining.
So we have some bachelorette talk.
Yeah. Is that what we're starting with?
Let's get right into it.
They wanted to start talking about this in the office, and we said we gotta wait.
It's gotta be a candid.
Keep it organic.
It's gotta be candid. I have candid thoughts.
So first,
garbage. The worst thing I ever watched in my life. Like, I wanted to remove my eyeballs from my face and my ears from my head too, because it was just an absolutely painful hour.
You could.
That I will never
Was that
get
the
back.
first episode that you watched?
I watched the first
Haley
one.
Used to like that. Doesn't
she did, but like I don't know, for whatever reason, like I've never watched the first episode. Like, I've never watched
the
episode where they all come out of the limos.
No, that's pretty bad.
It was just so awful and so painfully scripted too.
Yeah.
Like the whole show is so scripted. It's so obviously scripted, and it's so stupid that people are like, no, it's not. It's not. Grow up.
See, that's the point. I think I mentioned this the first time we brought this up 6 months ago, and I told you I watched this. If you understand that it's scripted and know that it's supposed to be cringy,
right,
and you just take it as this whole comedy show instead of some romantic drama, you have to reframe the way you watch the show. 100%. If you're in it for the romance, the drama, you're going to be majorly disappointed. If you're in it to see how funny and stupid things get, great show.
Right.
Or that you have to go on a show to find love.
Right.
It's
because again, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, none of the people on this show are ugly. Right? So they've already got one thing checked out the box going for them. So there has to be some other reason. Like, why are these people all you know, in
Single
their 30s,
30s
and they're very attractive people, and they're single. Probably because they're probably a douche, first of all.
I was going to say, I could check off why, like, 5 of them as they walk up to her.
Without even saying anything, you can be like, he's a douche.
Like, who was the guy? He's a douche. You guys probably haven't watched it, huh?
No.
Okay, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about episode 1.
Yep, spoiler, episode 1.
Or episode 1.
Okay, you didn't get to 2 yet.
I haven't got to 2 yet.
Okay, because 2 was on
last night, but I didn't
Why?
watch it.
Isn't it usually on Monday nights?
I think it's on 2. I don't know.
I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
It used to be on Monday nights.
A lot of them
and
are
now
on
all of a
Monday
sudden,
nights.
like-
Some of them are on
I don't
Tuesday
know.
nights.
Yeah, it's all weird.
It might depend on the season.
Okay, so we haven't watched 2 yet.
So
Because I was pissed.
We
because
watched
I'm
a
like,
little bit of 2.
at the beginning, yeah, a little bit. But okay, so we
So
might
spoilers
they
from
might
1.
run together.
Well, it's
so
episode 1.
episode 1.
Let's talk about. First of all, I made some notes because I'm in this for the content, right?
Yeah.
I'm in this for you guys. I want the best content for our Krave athletes and for everyone. So I made some notes on my phone. The first note that I wrote down was
You don't even need to look at him.
the second
He's been
the
ready for
second
this.
the screen switched to what's his name, Ryan. The second
I
it
don't know
switched to
names,
him.
that's
Oh,
He
yeah.
sounds
Because
like a douche.
spoiler alert, he's not there anymore. He got kicked
You
off.
got
He
the
got
guy
kicked
that had
off.
the notes, right?
He had notes.
Oh, the
That's
ice
guy
cream
with
guy.
Yeah, the ice cream
Ice
guy.
cream
Okay.
guy.
The very first thing they showed of him was he's like, I'm a farmer. So he's like, my name's Ryan. I'm a farmer. And they switched to him. They cut to him like driving this like antique tractor,
with his shirt
shirtless, and his boots. And
That's
like,
a real farmer,
right. And me growing up on a farm, instantly like I'm so triggered and I'm so angry about it.
Like,
And
I
so-
never did that.
So immediately, like I wrote in my notes, I'm like, Ryan sucks. Hate Ryan. And then it turns out that Ryan is the guy that
Ryan
had
does
all
suck.
the
that Ryan wrote all the notes down. And he got
Yeah.
kicked off on episode 1. So that
Yeah.
was a satisfying conclusion for me.
But you figured, right? You
Yeah.
thought it was coming.
Oh, I knew it. The second I saw
Like,
his
you could
stupid
just
face,
sense being-
I
yeah.
was like, this guy sucks. I thought he'd be the villain. So, like, what I thought would happen was they would drag it all out. Because I think,
Yes, keep
what's
him
her
on there.
name? Michelle?
Yes. She
So I
kind of
thought
liked
that-
him, but I'm like, did she? Or
I thought
was
that, yeah. And, like,
She liked ice cream.
and again,
Is what she
Right.
liked.
this goes
She
back
liked him.
into how scripted the show is. Because how they did it was really, really smart, actually. So props to the producers. Because how they did it was they had the other, like the host, the 2 host girls, I forget their names
Yeah.
too. They like went into all the guys before and they like looked through their rooms. And so they found it at the very beginning of the show. And like, oh, this guy has like his notes. And so like every time he'd come up on the screen, Michelle would be like, oh, I just like Ryan. He seems like he's really done his
Yes.
homework. He seems like he's really,
Right.
he almost knows me. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like he knows me. And then like they shift back to him being like,
Yeah.
and then so like the whole show, and then
So that first episode, it was her kicking him off, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw that.
yeah.
But at first,
because
I was like, she's going to keep him on.
I thought
the
that's
way
what
the
was gonna
conversation
happen.
was.
I thought she was gonna keep him, and I was like, okay, they scripted this out so that way he's already the villain on episode 1,
Yeah.
and
And they'll
like,
keep him till the
and they're gonna
next
keep him
episode.
till the very
And
end.
then when he was in the hallway, he's like, no, like, I don't, like, he kept freaking out. I'm
Yeah.
like, you are so annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
send him home.
I was like begging. I was like, please script, have it written in your script that you're sending him home on week 1.
Yeah.
Because the way the conversation was trending, it seemed like she was like, "I'll give you
I'll
a second
forgive
chance."
you,
That's what
yes.
always happens. I feel
Yeah.
like because they're like, "Well, I'll give you a 5th chance
Right,
and a
right.
6th chance." And they're like, "But
Well, and did you notice the way those is Kristen, I think it is, and Tasha.
I don't know.
Those 2
Tasha.
girls. Yeah, but
Yeah.
when they went in the first time, they made the notes seem like it was way worse, and then she went in and started reading them.
yeah, they
And
weren't."
she made it seem like it wasn't too bad, and I'm like, wait, like you got to read what they read. So I'm glad that he got kicked off because I was like, oh, she's gonna keep him now because she
Yeah.
probably didn't find anything that bad.
All right,
Yeah.
so our takeaway from episode 1
Ryan
is
sucks.
Ryan sucks. The
But he's
ice
gone
cream
now,
dude
so
sucks.
we're already.
So,
So
yeah.
now
So
we're
we're
on
just
to
waiting on
episode
the
2.
real
So next
villain
week,
to
I
show
want to keep
himself.
this short-ish because we could probably rattle on.
We could rattle
too
on
long.
about this.
Not the
one.
most important.
Okay, but
villains
nobody
episode.
really voted because it was too soon. They said a lot of people said it's too soon to know. So, but
Oh,
So
I
do we
made-
have a bracket?
I made a
Like,
note
people
of
do
who
the
I
brackets?
think was gonna win. Let me go. I forgot.
I think Nate's gonna win.
I said.
Nate or
Where'd my note go?
I agree with everything Amber said.
I said Clayton. I said
that's mine.
Clayton's gonna
Yeah,
win.
I think Clayton.
He seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like he's in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
There's
No,
always one
spoiler.
of those
Like,
no one
guys
is.
or girls that comes in. You're like winner, like super in it for the right reasons, and then like
Yeah.
low key behind the scenes, you find out they're one of the villains over the
Uh-huh.
season. So
Because that's
I'm
the other
going
thing is
with Nate or Clayton.
I saw a TikTok and it's so true about The Bachelor, because they're like pretending to be The Bachelor, and they're like, one thing that's really important to me is that you're a good person. Like one thing that's maybe different about me than other girls is that like you're a good person, or like you're
I'm
honest.
unique like that.
I'm
Yeah.
so quirky and different like that. And the other thing they always say is like, I just want to make sure that if you're not here for the right reasons, then just like, guess what? No one's here for the right reasons. Because Haley just showed me this yesterday.
I feel like the right reason though is
fame.
Fame. So
right. That is
everyone is there for the right reason.
It's just not the reason that they want you to
be famous. It's about all the shows.
Because Haley just showed me that the one that ended like a month ago, they already broke up a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So
what's the success?
Doesn't matter.
All right.
Nothing matters.
All right. So first episode is down. Next episode we will talk about next week, which is.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So next episode we will talk about. So we got to dive into.
I gotta go.
You gotta go. Okay.
I gotta roll.
I'm glad you stuck around.
Okay.
No
arguing. I'm glad Zach knows.
No arguing today.
I know everyone's schedule.
Yeah, he knows.
Shout out to Zach for keeping us in check.
All right. Good job, Zach. All right. So.
We got room in here.
Now we will talk about. Now that we got rid of her to talk about the Bachelorette, we will talk about this season. So we are finishing up our Heart and Hustle season. That means we know who the winners are, and we're going to announce them today.
Oh boy.
So we have the team winners with the challenges and the individual winners, with the challenge, and we're also giving some bonus prizes away for Strava totals and stuff like that. So what we have is what the challenge is mile time. So every week we have the challenge that it runs the entire season. So we have our top 10 that is on here. We are going to be giving out our awards actually tomorrow, Thursday, at our end of season celebration at Smash Park. So if you are on this, if you're one, definitely you should be coming. But if you want to come celebrate with us, it is at 6:30 to 7:30 Thursday night. So it may be today if this is loaded on Thursday, or tomorrow if this is loaded today.
The date is October 28th.
I don't know when
Thursday,
I'll get to
October 28th. So show up at Smash Park.
Yes, Smash Park, 6:30 to 8:30. It's going to be a great time. But the winners from Waukee, the male winner was Dave. How do you say his name?
Shookman.
Shookman.
You're welcome, Dave.
So big shout out to Dave. Ran the fastest mile time this season.
Good job, Dave.
And Maddie Beeler over there at Waukee. Winners over here, Mark. How do you say his last name? Aishid. So he was the overall winner with the fastest time of 5:24, which is huge for the team victory as well. And Mark was the male winner. Morgan Capel won for the females over here. She ran a 6:56. Maddie, female over there, won a 6:24. So
damn,
we have a split team victory though. So our team winners on the guys' side is West Des Moines with an average top 10 time of 6:10. The average for Waukee was 6:28 on their top 10 challenge. For the women, obviously, if it's split, the winner is over at Waukee.
So
the Waukee women won with an average top 10 time of 7:08, beating West Des Moines, who had an average of 7:23. So awesome times. Huge shout out to all the top 10s. Huge shout out to everybody, anybody that got a top 10 throughout the day, throughout the week. Any week challenge, you got the award each week. We give out kind of the top 10 award, and we'll give out the overall season awards Thursday night. So let's see, what else do we got to wrap up the season here? The Strava.
Get on Strava.
Strava.
Not that I want to, but
let's talk about Strava too.
We got beat.
Who's we?
West Des Moines got beat.
Oh.
Krave Gym got beat.
West Des Moines lost by about 300 if we tally up. We still have the last week that we'll tally up.
Okay.
So
another way you could say it is that Waukee won by 300.
I think
West Des Moines lost.
No, West Des Moines lost.
Waukee won.
You're outnumbered
by 300.
Let's not give credit to Waukee. They didn't do anything.
So
just ran.
It may be more than that even
or
because
less.
or less
or more.
But I think it'll be more because this last week we struggled again. We had 2 or 3 weeks where we won.
There was a couple weeks I got nervous.
We were down. 2 weeks ago we were down by 500.
And we
the last 2 weeks. Yeah,
the lead was cut big time.
Yeah. So when we did that, I was like hitting it hard, like, "Hey, we can do this."
Yeah, you guys cut into it.
I don't know if
I was getting nervous.
At least we made him nervous. So
I think that was our big push, and it just kind of fell a little short.
Yeah, so that was exciting.
Still, but it was good all the way around.
So huge shout out to everybody. Huge shout out to Brian White, who obviously threw down some amazing numbers as far as total miles. And
I want to do the math and figure out what percent of the West Des Moines miles came.
So yeah, we ended with what?
No shit,
Probably.
seriously.
No,
I was gonna say,
but I would bet
we
it
had
was
what?
close.
We had what?
1,500,
1,500 miles.
Yeah, and he did about 100.
Brian was like anywhere between
so
60
probably
and 100
close
a week,
to.
so
Yeah.
he's probably like
40%.
Yeah.
500, 600 miles.
Yeah, it's
Brian
crazy.
should be his own team next year.
Right.
Yeah, Brian.
He might win.
He could do it.
He might beat West Des Moines.
Yeah, it would be crazy. So huge shout out to everybody. Great job pushing yourselves outside of the gym to get those miles in, and inside the gym those counted as well. So let's get into. Should we get into next? No, let's get into next season next week. Next week, make sure you listen for all of the details. We are jumping into our strength season, our live to lift season, starting next Monday. Next Monday we have a free week that is our what do we call it? Training camp. There we go. So our training camp is next week. It is a free week. It's also a time where we can kind of go over, slow things down, make sure everybody is on the same page with the new movements, with everything that we're doing. So take next week as a learning opportunity. Kind of get your baseline for get your baseline for every single movement that we do during that. Write it down in week 1. Don't try to go crazy and push it too hard week 1. We will have our challenges will be max outs, sub maxes. So as to not get injured with, trying to strain for a single rep, we always do sub maxes, 3 to 5 rep range, and try to push as much weight as possible during those times. So we will have that starting week 2. So then we'll make sure that we record all of that. But the goal of next season, and we'll get into it a lot more next week, but the goal is build strength, get stronger. And it's a lot of fun too. We partner up in strength on the racks. So we'll have, and I don't think Joaquin probably hasn't had to do it in the past.
We have before. I think we have.
Maybe.
And I think it was more of
a. No.
I think it was more of not that we really had to, but more that we wanted
to.
Just again for the team atmosphere
Right.
of it all. Because that's my favorite part.
Busy enough that
and now we have enough people that we have to, which is awesome. Yeah, but this is live to live to my favorite season personally.
I would agree.
I would say just for a lot of reasons, because I gravitate towards strength anyway. That's what I prefer.
Yeah. To
be straight up honest, but then I love the partnering up. I love Salvation Army.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good opportunities with them. So and it's just a good time of year. I think November, December is just a nice time of year always. So
yeah, no, that's true. It's a lot of fun. So we'll talk about more detail about the season next week. So stay tuned next week for all of the specifics on that and the goal of it, and we'll dive into exactly what rep ranges, all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. We'll talk about next week, but. This week, we want to talk about team. So, obviously, we are more than just a gym. We are a team. It's a huge part of our mission. Last week, we talked about you're an athlete, and guess what? Athletes are on teams. And so we are a team at Krave. We do a lot more than just go to the gym and see other people at the gym. We do a lot of things as a team. We want to treat every training session, every team session, it's called team session, as a team opportunity. So one of the things that is interesting, and I think that we've been seeing it a little bit, we have a lot of new members over, new athletes over at Joaquin. It is huge right now, and which is awesome. It's blowing up over there. It's super exciting. We have a lot over at West Des Moines as well, but for some reason Waukee is very stacked this last month for sure. So it's a good time to kind of reiterate what we do as a team and why we train as a team, and what that means at Krave. And so to define team, we've separated it into, what do we call those?
Acronyms.
Acronym, yes. We separated it into an acronym. So to us, the definition of team is together everyone achieves more. And that stands true in everything that we do, whether it's in the gym, whether it's outside of the gym with our power partners, whatever we do, the team comes first. And I think the overall mission is important to state here as well. So like anybody that's been on a team in the past in a sport, if you're in the locker room, you've been with people that are from every race, every religion, every sexual orientation, every background that makes different people come together on a team. Everybody's different, right? And it's especially important in today's world, which outside of these walls, everybody knows the crazy shit going on in the world, right? At least it feels like that.
Right.
And so for us, it's very important for us as a team to get rid of all of that differences and come together as a team with a common goal. And in doing that, just like those sports teams, if you were going to win a championship, you had to get along in the locker room. You had to put your differences aside, and make sure that you're practicing as a team, you're spending time as a team, and you are understanding that the goal is more important than our differences. And I think that that's a huge part of what we do. So with so many new athletes over at Waukee, we thought it'd be a great time to do the word of the week as team. With being a team, you have new members, you have new athletes come and join your team all the time. And for us, that's a huge opportunity for our current athletes to meet new people, to welcome new people to the team, and to show our camaraderie and our community and our culture in a way that's inclusive and helps people understand why we do what we do and why we do and why what we do is the best way to do things. And so we have to also think about how we deliver those messages, right? So we don't want to have the message of, hey, over here we do things a certain way. I don't know where you're from. I don't know, whatever. That attitude is a divisive attitude versus, hey, next time try it this way. This is how this is the best way that we've found over here to do things. Try it this way. This is the best way to rotate. These are some tips and tricks that can help you out along the way. That's a lot better way to approach a situation and getting to know your new athletes versus the kind of exclusive way of saying, hey, you're different. You have a different experience. Do it this way because now you're here. You know what I mean? There's a different tone to those things. And so we want to remind everybody that if you are on a team, be a leader, be accepting of new athletes. And as they come in, and this is a great thing for anybody at any gym when it comes like New Year's time for sure, right?
So because it's common.
So it's only a couple months away. And I think that a lot of people, when New Year's resolution people come into a gym that's populated with people that have been there all year round, there's a lot of animosity towards those people because you're thinking that, oh, this person won't be here in a couple months, right? And that attitude sucks because what we want to make sure that we do is make it an environment so they do stay. You know what I mean? Because their goal is our goal and all of our goals are the same, and we all want to get better in our own lives and be successful in our own lives. And in order to do that, we have to accept that Maybe it is someone's first time coming into the gym. Maybe it's someone's first time coming from another gym. We have to accept and help them make the transition and be accepting in a way that is very inclusive and helps everybody kind of train together, because we do have a unique way of training. We train like athletes. A lot of gyms out there don't. And because we train like athletes, we have a certain kind of captain hierarchy, coaches hierarchy. But the best thing that we can do is allow the coaches to coach. If there's a polite way, if someone's doing something completely wrong that maybe they're going to injure themselves or someone else, then you could politely say something. But the coaches are all professional coaches that are here to help new athletes and to make sure that people are doing a good job of those things. So we have some action steps, but I'll kind of let you guys talk about what your experience, as a team and the benefits of a team are, versus being in it for an individual type of reason.
Right. So I think one thing too that I wanted to kind of reiterate on too for people, because again, like you said, Joaquin, we have a lot of new athletes coming in. What I would encourage our athletes to do is put yourself in those shoes again, because every one of you has at some point, whether it was at some point in the last couple of months, whether you started over here at West Des Moines 6 years ago and then moved over to Joaquin, like every one of you at some point within the last few years has been that brand new person that walks into doors the first time, never been into Krave before, maybe never been into a gym before. And it's intimidating because, like you said, the way that we train, some people come in and say, I've never touched a barbell before. I've never lifted weights before. And it's intimidating when you walk in and you see people throwing weights around and stuff like that, and some of the drills that we do for agility, another good example, or striking. People don't have experience with that kind of stuff sometimes, and it's intimidating. It's hard. And one of the things that I hear, probably the most common thing that I hear and that we've all heard as people that have talked to prospective athletes, is I'm nervous. I'm intimidated to come in. And, people all the time say, oh, I haven't worked out for, I'm 40 years old. I haven't worked out since I had a kid 15 years ago. And I just want to come in and try to, better my life in some way. And, again, from talking to these people, it's really cool to hear them say afterwards, like, oh, I was over here and so really helped me out and they gave me a little word of encouragement. And I think sometimes we forget that people coming into the gym and trying out maybe one session, they're not getting, months and months and months worth of info, and I don't know what I'm trying to say, but of experience in that one session. Like everything that happens in that 1 hour matters a ton. And everything that happens in that 1 hour is what that person's going to think happens all the time. So if they come in and they have, again, someone, not that this happens ever, honestly, but if they have someone, being a douche and was like, hey, being judgy, like might happen at, a gym that you go to on your own, maybe where there's a bunch of meatheads and stuff. Mm-hmm. If they have that type of experience, that could put them off and they'll never come back. And then maybe that stops them from ever trying to go to a gym. And then all of a sudden that one thing has now stopped that person from trying to pursue their goals for years. Mm-hmm. So that one thing can make a huge difference. But then vice versa too, going out of your way to say one word of encouragement to a new person that you haven't seen before. Just saying hi.
Right.
I'm dead serious about this.
And I haven't heard it too. Yeah, I haven't heard that too much as far as Krave athletes, but I have heard it from Krave athletes that have been at
other places,
right?
And there's judgment, and there's
and they're
there's people putting each other down, right? And so just going out of your way to, if you see someone that you don't know, that you think it may be, oh, well, if it's their first time or not, but just going out of your way and saying, hey, I'm so and so. That can put that person at ease in the first 5 minutes of a session, where everything else that happens afterwards is so much more positive. They have someone there that they think they can talk to, if they have any other things. It's intimidating to talk to a coach too. If we have 18 people in a session and we're running all over the place, the last thing people want to do is be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I feel out of place. Can I wave the coach down and distract them from everything else, which is totally fine. But again, it's that mentality of you don't want to feel like
for
you're
us,
out of place, so
when someone jumps in as a first time athlete, whether whether they join the gym or not, they're already a part of our team. They're training with us, so they're training like athletes. They're part of the team. So one of the quotes that I like is, "We're not a team because we work together. We're a team because we respect, trust, and care for each other." So the fact that we're working out, yes, that makes us all train like athletes, but the fact that we respect each other, trust each other, and care for each other during those sessions, both inside and outside of the gym, that's what kind of seals us as a team. And that's the most important part, because just being a good human being is most of the time all it takes.
Right, exactly.
And
exactly.
That's what makes a good teammate, So we do have some action steps, as we always do. So the four things that we can do at Krave to be a good teammate, to show others that we are on the same team. Number one is stay in touch with your teammates. So whether it's and we do this as coaches, if we haven't seen someone for a long time, making sure that we have that we have that phone call or the text message that says, hey, it's been a while since we've seen you. Love to get you in, what's going on, that kind of thing. Staying in touch with your teammates is always a positive. And just seeing, life happens, and there's a lot of things outside of the gym that could prevent someone from coming into the gym. And so the fact that they know that you feel comfortable talking to them about what their situation was and just touching base with them, and staying in touch. Number two is, like, in social media and in today's world, follow them as far as where they're at in their journey online. Follow them so that you can kind of see that, whatever you call it. Either it's following someone or it's becoming friends with them on Facebook, whatever the case might be. That's where a lot of community happens. Right? Is online in today's world. So we get to see people in person, because we are an actual event. Every time we train together, we see each other in person. So that's a benefit, number one. But number two is outside in the real world. A lot of things that we do are online, and so make sure that you're staying in touch and being that online presence with your teammates. Number three is celebrate victories together. So we do different things, celebrating seasons and that kind of stuff, but it could be as little as giving someone a high five when they make a lift that they may not have done. Maybe it's someone that just did a box jump at a certain height for the first time, whatever the case might be, or hit a PR on one of their challenges. That is a great time to celebrate with that person. And the small victories are going to be what encourages everyone to continue with their goals and continue to push for larger victories. So celebrate victories, and then support everybody during downtimes. So which downtimes means, like, in life, and everybody at some point needs a pick-me-up. There may be some serious stuff going on in other people's lives, and you may be able to see that someone looks like the whole world's on their shoulders when they're coming in for a team session. That's the time when a teammate can support you, can make you feel better, can just be an ear, or can be a partner while you're training. So those are the different things too. When people are having hard times, make sure we're supporting them. Make sure that they know that we care as a teammate and as a friend. So all of this kind of boils down to being a good human at the end of the day. But those are kind of four things that we can do, that we can concentrate on this week to really make sure that we galvanize our team atmosphere and make everyone feel like a part of the team. So
absolutely,
sounds good.
Sweet.
And
yeah. Anything else going on?
I don't think so. No.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get the hell out of here then. have a great week. We will be ending the season. We'll be starting next season, so we'll get back to you next week on all that. But in the meantime, remember, you're an athlete. Live like it.
Born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.